I use this vlog just as a way of recording for my own amusement, for my own, I guess, for posterity, what's going on at different time points of our CrossFitter box owner journey. And right now, as we said, it is March 12th of 2020, and in the last 2 days, this shit has really hit the fan with the coronavirus thing. United States is on lockdown, as in nobody from Europe can fly or communicate, or nobody in Europe can come over to United States. In fact, lots and lots of local, lots of domestic events are being shut down. The Arnold Classic was all but canceled. Traffic and Conversion Summit has been postponed. The entire NBA season has been postponed. The entire NFL season has been postponed. The entire MLB season has been postponed. Sanctional events around the world, CrossFit sanctional events, are being postponed or canceled outright. In some places around the country, gatherings larger than 1,000 people are against the law, or temporarily against the law now. And schools get shut down when there's the possibility of somebody having a coronavirus. See, all of this comes down to the coronavirus. I don't think I said that at the start of this, but this is the coronavirus nuisance pandemic of 2020, which started in a place in China. In the last 3-4 months has spread like wildfire around the entire world, and I have a few thoughts on all of this madness going on right now. So my first thought on this is that I am really grateful that I live in the absolute smack center of the United States right now, away from all the major markets, away from Los Angeles and San Francisco and Seattle and Chicago and New York and Miami, all the major metropolitan markets, which are hubs for international travel. Those cities, they've probably got it bad right now because people come in from overseas to those hubs, and those places probably have, we already know from the news, the highest concentration of coronavirus confirmed cases are in essentially coastal regions. And it's very clear that the United States is taking significant measures across the country. Administrations, governments, agencies, business leadership, they're all taking significant measures to stymie the progression of the coronavirus. And I feel extremely blessed to be in the very center of the country, where ostensibly we will be affected last. From the coasts, the coronavirus is going to bleed inward, and it will get here, and it will touch my community. It will affect some of my people, if not all of my people. But I can say I'm feeling very blessed that we probably have the most amount of warning of anybody in the country, anybody in the world possibly. We have the absolute maximum amount of advance warning about taking proper precautions and to prepare ourselves. Literally, that shit is going to get to us last. We had, in the past week, there was a confirmed case in Ladue, Missouri, which is close to here, but also not really that close to here. And that the whole school there got shut down to, close the floodgates, to keep the water from spilling out, right? It's touching our region, but it's not really here yet, and we have more time than anybody in the country to get our shit together and prepare for impact. And I feel extremely blessed to have that extra time, and that it's probably going to affect us less that it affects so many other areas of the country. That's one of my first thoughts on that. The second thought is I'm really blessed to have a client population. As an owner of a CrossFit gym, I feel extremely blessed to have a client population which is almost by default healthier than the norm. People who are more health conscious and probably less likely to have significant underlying health conditions than almost everybody else in the country. Like your CrossFit population they are the unusually fit people, the unusually healthy people, the unusually health conscious people who are probably more likely to live a healthy lifestyle and eat in a healthy way and be immuno resilient against the bullshit out there. Not to say that we are not necessarily like less immune. That's not what I'm looking for. We're not necessarily less vulnerable to coronavirus in the sense that we can't get it, but we are less vulnerable in the sense that it is almost for sure not going to cause any serious health consequences for us as CrossFitters. And for my clients at our gym, like, we are the people most likely to survive the coronavirus outbreak and most likely to survive the eventual zombie apocalypse, the zombie virus outbreak, whenever that happens in the future. So like, we are by default more likely to get through this okay, just because of the lifestyle that we live as CrossFitters. And I take some consolation in that. Is it a foolproof like protection? Are we guaranteed? No, we're not guaranteed anything, but the odds are definitely fucking in our favor. That is for sure. It is in our favor. And that brings me to my third point, right? And I referenced the zombie apocalypse tongue-in-cheek, like, we're going to survive this coronavirus nuisance. Is it going to be a major pain in the ass? Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a major pain in the ass. Are we going to survive it? I'm quite confident that we will. But as I try to step back and look at all of this objectively, I feel like this is a fantastic, valuable stress test for my business at my level, the very micro level. My micro gym is going to be an excellent stress test for how well do we weather a storm. But it's also a fantastic test for, on the macro level, the United States and its preparedness to deal with a mass health concern, a mass viral outbreak, right? And we are all so bloody lucky that this is not generally a lethal condition. That is not generally lethal. And if you're a, generally speaking, healthy person, you're going to make it out of this just fine. You'll be inconvenienced for a while, but you're going to make it out of this just fine. But this is an amazing stress test, live action stress test. We're living through it right now. Like, United States, how do you handle the major outbreak of a virus that is extremely infectious and contagious and communicable? How do you handle that? Do you have the systems in place to effectively manage some real bullshit? Do you have the systems in place to keep hysteria and panic at bay, to keep people calm, cool, and executing an intelligent game plan for minimizing the damage? Do we have that, or do we have that not? This is an incredibly useful test for us, because, like, imagine if this was a lethal condition. Imagine if it was like a 80 to 90% mortality rate. Imagine that shit. Imagine if the coronavirus was almost certainly lethal. Imagine the hysteria. Imagine how bad that shit would be. Like, coronavirus, you're going to be inconvenienced for a minute if you get it, for sure. You know, you got to be in quarantine for a while. You might get pneumonia, apparently. You're going to have a cough. And anyway, you got to stay away from work. And there's all the nonsense happen with that. Like, everybody who hangs out around you, all of your family's got to be quarantined also. It's a pain in the ass. No doubt about it. But imagine if this shit was lethal. Imagine if this shit was like 90% mortality rate. Oh my God, this country we'd be fucked right now. We'd be fucked, capital F, right now. And like, I am counting my blessings that it's not lethal and that we can put ourselves to the test. How do we handle this? And let us learn here and now. Let us learn from this situation about handling a major health concern before the zombie apocalypse happens, before the lethal contagion happens, before the lethal outbreak happens. You know what I mean? This is our great opportunity to really get smart about what to do in a situation like this. So that is the silver lining in all of this. Let's go out there, let's learn something and do something smart today.